Yahuwah Svatai Tiftaku Fi Yagi Tehilateaka. First, giving all honor and praise to the Holy One of Israel, Yah Yahuwah, to the Holy Messiah Ben Ami, to the holy princes, divine ministers, crowned brothers, crowned sisters, and to all the righteous saints of the kingdom. I greet you in peace and love. Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings to our divine sisterhood in Southern Eden. It's a divine honor and privilege to be allowed to contribute in some small way to this great undertaking of the pursuit of physical immortality. I pray that you are all enjoying the journey immensely and sharing vital information that will assist us all in this great undertaking. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Minister Deborah, eshet, Cohane Ravyah, or in the Hebrew tongue, Sarah Deborah. I'm the minister of divine abundance and well-being, which is the financial arm, the financial ministry of the kingdom of Yah. But I like to call it the system of wealth of the kingdom of Yah. I'm also one of the financial directors of Kibbutz Shomrei HaShalom. Now, getting into the subject matter of physical immortality, you may well ask, what role does finance or economics contribute in any way to the pursuit of physical immortality? But one thing we've learned in this pursuit of alignment with Yah Yahuwah and the establishment of the kingdom of Yah, that system has left no stone unturned in establishing itself as anti-life and anti-Yah. And just as they have left no stone unturned, we also can leave no stone unturned as we continue to unravel the deception and put our systems into place that are pro-life and in alignment with Yah Yahuwah. So in that, let us begin. And I'd like to start with something that may seem obvious about any pursuit of physical immortality, and that is the examination of time. And in that quest, I'd like to contrast the definition of time as it has been presented by our Messiah Ben Ami and their understanding of time, so that we can see how in our quest to extend our lifespan, this role of time, it's the way that it's going to impact and the manner in which we have to look at those things that are associated with time. I'd like to start with a quote from the book Everlasting Life, From Thought to Reality, page 79. And this book is written by Ben Ami HaMashiach. The quote, "Time is immortal and is required to live. Time, in itself is life. Death is when time is taken away." So you can see that this quote from Ben Ami, from Everlasting Life, has got to be an essential component of any thought product that we're embarking upon in this pursuit of everlasting life, in our pursuit of physical immortality. So let's contrast that statement with one of the common ways in which this system defines time. Consider a statement that we've probably heard many times and haven't thought anything about it. We just have accepted it as true. And that statement is, time is money. Now, time is money. Anytime you say that something is something, you're defining that thing. The verb to be in any of its form is an identifier. I am this, you are that. This isn't a grammatical lesson, but this is just to make us understand the importance of words and their power and the way that we comprehend things. So, to say that time is money is actually saying that time equals money. It's an equation of sorts. And in any equation, anything on one side of the equal sign is equivalent to the thing on the other side, which means that these are interchangeable ideas in their world. So, if we can interchange the word money for the word time in the definition that the Holy Father gave us, it will read like this. Money is immortal and is required to live. It, money, in itself is life. Death is when money is taken away. Now think about that. Is that a statement that is truly indicative of the mindset of this current world system? Remember, we're talking about a system that's designed to take control of that essential element, time, and to calibrate you in such a way that the greater part of your waking hours are devoted to the pursuit of money. So, in such a system, for many, death is when time is taken away. How many times have we heard of wealthy people who suddenly lose their wealth and can no longer bear to live? How many people in this system actually lose their lives because someone wanted the money that they possessed? So again, we can leave no stone unturned in understanding the deception, the subtle deception of the language or common sayings that we hear about money that we may just accept as part of, the lexicon. However, these things are indoctrinating us in a very subtle way towards anti-life and anti-y'all. Also, if we can accept that time is money, can we even afford immortality? So these are questions that we have to begin to consider and really understand that this financial system definitely plays an anti-life role and an anti-immortality role in our pursuit of everlasting life. Another integral part of this system is debt. Their whole financial system is based on debt. They profit from your debt. Their whole banking system can only expand due to you creating debt. So how does this impact on physical immortality? Again, referring back to the statement by Hamashiach, time is immortal and is required to live. Time, in itself is life. Death is when time is taken away. So, with that being said, let's see if we can agree on some statements about debt. At this time, I'd like to refer to a book that I've written called Money and the Truth Shall Set You Free. And I'd like to reference pages 25 and 26. And it reads on this wise. In discussing wealth, it is vital to also discuss and expose the idea of debt, the concept upon which the entire system of Western economics has been built. According to Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, debt, the definition, is 1. Sin or trespass. 2. something owed, an obligation. 3, a state of owing. So now I'd like to read a few statements from this excerpt, and let's see if we can agree on these statements being derived from this definition of what debt is. The first statement: would you agree that debt is a postponement of an obligation into some future time? Basically, the credit system is based on that very principle. You make a purchase and you postpone your payments into some future time. So I would say check on that statement. Would you agree that when one incurs debt, one is pledging one's future in some form, freedom or income or assets? Again, you are projecting your ability to oblige whatever debt there is into some time in the future. So again, and it may be that if you don't pay your debt, there are debtors' prisons. You may lose your freedom. You may have your income taken. You know, we all have seen garnishing of wages because of unpaid debt or something. Or you may have an asset, a home that is repossessed, or a car or some purchase simply because you have not been able to fulfill a future obligation that you made. So we'll give this statement a check also. Would you agree that pledging one's future is pledging time that has not yet happened? Well, that's pretty much the definition of the future, time that has not yet happened. So I'm going to go ahead and for all of us agree that these statements are correct. So consider once again Abba Ben-Ami's definition of time. Time is immortal and is required in order to live. Time in itself is life. Death is when time is taken away. We must consider that debt is more than just financial. If debt is a promissory of time not yet happened, and if that debt is unpaid or unpayable, does that debt become, from Abba Ben-Ami's definition, time taken away or death? Now this is something that, because we're all kind of bridging two systems, we're making the transition into the sacred system of the kingdom of Yah's wealth system. However, we're also participating in the current world system because we have to. Therefore, we have to very carefully consider, as we're embarking on this journey into physical immortality, those things that we can change, those things that we don't have to participate in. And if we do agree that any debt that is unpaid or unpayable actually becomes time taken away, and time taken away is death, we have to ask, could it be that debt actually has the capability of diminishing one's immortality or lifespan? And could it be that spiritually, debt can lead to an earlier death in an individual? These are very, very serious questions that we must take time to really ponder and come up with the correct answers, and then the correct behavior in response to those answers. So, if this is possible, what could be the result of a system that is designed upon debt and designed to entrap humanity in debt? So, those 2 points, brief but I hope impactful, are just a brief incursion into the system of finance as it currently exists and one of the many ways that it has indoctrinated us to believe in money as the supreme pursuit of life. In closing, I would like to focus upon a positive aspect and benefit of our kingdom of Yah system of wealth, in which we know work is worship. And I'd like to leave you with this positive manner of accumulating time in the KOY system. So, we understand that work is worship, and our sacred quest is to stay aligned with our purpose. Our national purpose is to exalt the interests of Yah Yahuwah and to manifest the kingdom of Yah on earth. Each of us, however, have our own role to play in this sacred endeavor. So consider this. When you have fully embraced your personal purpose in the whole on this journey, when you are engaged in fulfilling purposeful work, when you are happy and fulfilled in what you are doing, what happens to time? Doesn't it feel as if 10 hours becomes 10 minutes or even 10 seconds? Don't you become so engrossed in the joy of what you're doing or accomplishing that time literally flies? Again, reading from the book, Money and the Truth Will Set You Free, on page 48. Purposeful work is directly related to longevity or immortality, because when you are doing work that you love or that is meaningful to you, time dissolves. So what does that mean in the final analysis? As we gain greater success in aligning ourselves with Yah Yahuwah, is it not our goal to become more like Yah? And is not one of the things said about Yah, our Creator, that 1,000 years is like a day? So, when through our purposeful work for the kingdom, when 10 hours is like a few seconds, we can conclude that we are well upon our way to achieving mastery over time, and therefore mastery over life or physical immortality, and therefore more like our Creator, Yah Yahuwah. Thank you again for allowing me to share these thoughts with you about the relationship of our system of wealth to achieving physical immortality. Peace and blessings to all, and continue to enjoy one another and this moment. Selah.